Hello, welcome to Prepping and More. Edward T is your host, aka Reaper61. Today we're going to talk a little bit about preparing to prep, okay? As you will see in a lot of YouTube videos, everybody got their own way of doing it. Today I'm going to show you what I did. I simplified it as much as I could, and later on I'm going to be doing detailed videos on each of the categories that I'm going to be brief you on. Again, this is the way I do things. This might work for some of you, it might not work for others. The main thing, once I show you the categories I prep on, you need to tackle one at a time. You cannot just randomly start buying stuff over here. Take care of one, then go to the next, and so forth. And do it so that you don't break your budget, okay? Well, I don't want to get you holding over here. Let's get started. All right, switching over here to our whiteboard. How are you going to prepare for the SHTA day? Okay, let's go into. So, I divided my plan into 4 categories, okay? Those 4 categories are: number 1, food and water; number 2, security of your building or facility, wherever you are located, home, basement, whatever; number 3, communications. You need to have effective communications with your base or with your siblings or family. Why is that? Because in case of a disaster, the first thing is going to go is the communications with the cellular network, which means that's going to render your phone basically won't be able to use it for all. And number 4, your health and medicines, meaning, do you have a prescription that you use every month? We need to take a look at that because in case of civil unrest or anything happening, an emergency or a disaster, pharmacies are not going to be available. So our first category here is food and water. Yes, you need food, you need water in order to survive. So I give that my first priority. You need to have food, you need to have water. Bullet number 1, get as much water as you can store now. Not tomorrow, okay, but yesterday. You don't have to break your budget. You can go to Walmart, get the 40 bottle cage for about $5. Every time you go, get 2 or 3, and by the time you figure out in 2 weeks, you're gonna have a big and good supply of water. If you go to Costco, you can do the same. All right, and for example, 6 months, if you buy one 40 bottle case every month, okay, in 6 months, how many bottles are you gonna have? 6 times 40, that's 240 bottles of water, okay? So you just got to do a little math and take care of this. Item 2, follow my videos on packing for long term, okay? Don't just view mine. There's so many people, thousands of people that are doing videos on how to pack food, how to pack get-go bags and so forth. Just do me a favor, watch them. I don't care if it's mine or not. Watch them, learn, and then do, okay? Of course, item 3, always pack basic food. And by that I mean beans, rice, spaghetti, pasta, stuff that is not gonna damage, okay? Stuff that is gonna have long shelf life, okay? Start with 2 weeks, then jump to 3. And that's how you start, okay? Start making a prepping for food for 1 or 2 days, then jump out to a week, then to 2 weeks, then to 3, until you eventually get to 6 months of food storage and water, okay? And at that point, 6 months, start recycling. And it's going to be an endless vicious circle, like we call it, okay? But you always going to be recycling the food, and every 6 months you're going to have new stuff. You don't have to worry about shelf life, even though some of the stuff I'm telling you to pack, like rice, will last you for years, okay? Item 6, make sure you vacuum seal and use oxygen absorbers, okay? That's the key to packing basic food for long term, rice, beans, and so forth, okay? Seal it, take all the oxygen out, and then use oxygen absorbers. And again, there's thousands of videos out there showing you how to do this stuff. Or you can watch mine in my channel. I have tried to make it as easy as possible for you to check on this, okay? Let's go to the next category. All right, on the next category, I go for security. Security is very important because if you are not cannot secure yourself or your family or your belongings, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. In case of disaster emergency, you're always gonna have civil unrest. Even when there's no disaster or an emergency, we have civil unrest right now in a lot of places over here. Like, look at that video where all these people are jumping into a 7-Eleven and took everything in Los Angeles. So, on our first bullet for security, always set perimeter layers, okay? You gotta set layers. Layers equals delays. Delays equal time to go get your firearm. And I'm sorry if you don't like firearms, but in case of an emergency, the police is not going to be there for you, okay? They might be too busy helping the fire department or in something worse than somebody hitting the front door on your house, okay? You have to be able to prepare yourself to defend yourself and your family and possible your friends or neighbors, okay? Or an innocent bystander they are going to do harm to. Number two, again, like I said, layers are delays. It will give you time to get to a firearm. Number three, I will be talking about dogs. Dogs are assets. They are your best friend, but by the same token, they will help delay the intruder from hurting you until you can get to a firearm. Number four, trees needs to be trimmed, okay? If you cannot see outside through your window, we got a problem. You need to be able to check out the perimeter, and you do that either with a camera or with through the windows. Number five, like I said, setting a camera system is very imperative. If you don't have the time or the money, okay, I will suggest the Blink system. I have videos on that unit. It's from Amazon. I set up 4 cameras and a video ring bell for my front door for less than $250. Okay, they are not the best, but at least you'll be able to monitor your perimeter. I put 1 camera per side on the house, and then I got full view of my front through the front door video ring bell. So do yourself a favor. That way you don't have to come out, but at least you'll be able to see around and take a look at something. And one more thing, these Blink systems, they got motion detection systems. So at night, they will alert you. And even if the cell network is down on your phone, you cannot make calls, you should be able to monitor the system. Okay, so make yourself the idea that if you don't have one, you need to get one. Okay, next category. All right, over here in this slide, I'm giving you an example here on security by layers. Okay, basically, again, layers give you delays. Delays give you time to go get your firearm. In the center, the red square, that means you and your family. All right. So the outer perimeter is the grounds outside your house. Understand that different house layouts involve different way of securing your perimeter. Some houses do not have walls or fences. Some of them might have wood fences. Some other ones will have brick or concrete blocks walls. regardless if your situation need to make sure that your perimeter is secure. If you got gates that are not locking, make sure that they lock, all right, and that everything is secure. Inside your grounds, okay, then you need to have a camera system. Camera system will allow you to monitor the perimeter without even going out. All right. If you have civil arrest, you're going to have multiple people, and that will allow you to see if you can open the door or not. And most of the times, the answer is no, you will not open. In addition, security alarms are a great deal because it will allow you to do detection on where there is an illegal entry that you have no idea on windows, back doors, garage, whichever. All right. So the building section in yellow basically allows you to monitor and secure alarms that give you time to say, oh, that's an unfriendly guy. Let's go get armed. All right. In addition to here, I'm going to add a security bar. The security bars, you can get one either at Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart for about $20. The brand is irrelevant because they're all the same. Because these security bars will allow you to lock behind the door and will allow you to hold on if somebody's trying to mule kick or throw down the door, unless they have a key to the city that the police have, right? Breaking uh, uh, deal to breach the door. But either way, security bars are great, especially for your daughters and your sons. And I have tested them, and trust me, it takes a lot out of somebody to kick the door with a security bar behind. On the green layer, reinforced door locks and dogs. Most of the locks that come in on the door on the houses, they probably got about half an inch screws. Okay, not a good thing. Make sure you replace all the screws on your door with at least 2 to 3 inch screws, so that way it takes longer for them to take the door down. It is very helpful for to have 3 or 4 more seconds because they couldn't do and take down the door. All right. If you have a dog, okay, and I'm not talking a little rat, all right, or a Chihuahua or one of these small dogs. I'm talking like me. I have a pit bull, huskies, um, German shepherds, and so forth. When the people hear big dogs barking, they do not go in unless it's an emergency that they need to really get into your house. One of the things I will advise you, if you do not have a real dog, they sell bark simulators that you put near the door, and when people come in near the field of contact, they start barking. And trust me, I've heard some of them, and they are really realistic. And because you are hearing it through a door, it sounds muffled, so you can't tell if it's a real dog or a digital dog. I will be putting links for those on the description below. And again, when you are in red, that means you are locked up in your bedroom or in a safe room if you will have the convenience of having one, with your firearm ready to go to protect your family and yourself. All right. This is just an example. This varies depending on the layout of the house because everybody's is different. Okay. All right. Our next category in my plan is basically set up communications. Why do you need to set up communication? It's really easy and a no brainer. In case of disasters or emergencies of civil unrest, the cell phone network is going to be so overwhelmed. Phones are not going to be working. They might sound busy forever because there's so many calls. It works basically like denial of attack for computers. Okay, so you need to have an alternative in order to be able to do this. What is the alternative? Number one, buy FRS radios. FRS stands for Family Radio System. Okay, It's a set of radio walkie-talkies that you can take with you. You do not need a license to use them. Okay. Where can you buy these radios? You can buy them in Amazon, any department store, Walmart, anywhere, Target, any department store that sells electronics have them. They are usually in the camping section for a reason, because a lot of people use them for camping and so forth. It's not going to kill you to have a set of 2 or 4 radios at your home ready to go with batteries. Like I said, you do not need a license to transmit in FRS system. It would be nice if you have a ham radio license. I am a ham radio operator since I was 15. So it's not a bad thing to have. If you are interested, there's so many courses that you can take on YouTube, and then your local ham radio club can probably test you for free. I think you gotta pay something now, like $7 or something. I'm not even sure anymore. But again, even if you don't have a license, if you are in a disaster or in an emergency or some sort of situation where your life is at stake, know that you can transmit legally during emergencies without a license. It doesn't matter on what radio and what frequency. So you found a police car, and you can use that. You don't need a license. You can just, and make sure you speak English peacefully. Don't try to go code. If you don't know the codes, just say it in plain English. Hey, I'm so and so. I'm at this location. I found this car, this police car that have a radio, or I got these radios and I was trying to communicate because we have an emergency. Okay. For those of you that know a little bit about radios, Baofeng is a Chinese brand. They have a bit of bad reputation, but they are actually excellent radios. And I don't care what a ham radio operator tells you that they're illegal to have, because they are not. As long as you program them for the right frequency and the correct power, you can use Baofeng radios for ham radio issues. Okay. Now, again, in case of an emergency, you can transmit legally without emergency. So there's thousands of videos on YouTube on how to program these radios. You basically either do it through the pad or through software, which is the easiest of both methods. Okay. Baofeng radios, they cost around $25 to $35 in Amazon, and they are not that bad. I got Baofeng radios with me in my bag that have been with me for 5-6 years. Been using them and they work like a champ. Number 4, area surveillance is always good if you have a drone. I carry a portable drone in my backpack. Why? Because if I have to get home from a disaster or something that happens and I can't go anywhere because of traffic, I can drop the drone up and take a look around and see if I can find a way to get home faster. All right, avoiding the interstates and going through the streets. But either way, a drone with a camera will give you an advantage where you'll be able to take a look around your blocks and see what is going on around you. Are they people hurting people? Is there civil unrest going on? Or everything is clear. So it is definitely a plus. One thing I do have to tell you on FRS radios: when you go to Walmart or any of these department stores, okay, the boxes on the radios are going to tell you 50-mile range. That is total BS and a lie. In ham radio operations and communications, the rule of thumb is 1 mile per 1 watt. For FRS, they're usually maximum output of 2 watts. So we're looking at 2 miles when you look in line of sight, meaning looking at each other. If there are buildings, trees, or any type of obstructions right in between the walkie-talkies, it will cut off the range. Okay, so when they say 50 miles, they're probably thinking that you are on top of the Empire State and you have the altitude to basically go everywhere, but you're not. Okay. Any questions? Again, just make sure you post them below in the video. All right. Let's go to the next category. All right, we're back, and here's our last category. Health and medicines, okay? And even though this is very important, I set it up at last because by this time before an emergency, you should have done a lot of this, okay? Let's say you are on medication, on a recurring medication, okay, that you're taking every day, every month. Make sure that you get extras, okay? Because in case of an emergency or a disaster or civil arrest, there's not going to be any pharmacies to reorder your medication, okay? Those of you that are diabetics, if you need insulin, you need to make sure that you can get an extra supply of insulin so that way you can survive. You need to be able to have a battery operated freezer so that way you can hold those on. And that's just examples of what you need to do in case of an emergency, okay? For those of you that are taking pills and stuff like that, like in my case, I'm a diabetic type 1. I basically control my sugar with exercise and dieting. But I told the doctor I wanted 90 days bottles, so rather than 30-day bottles, and at least you have 2 or 3 months of supply ahead. All right. So that's one way that you can keep doing like that. 2 or 3 weeks before they go out, make sure you do a refill, and that you will get 90 more days of doing this. And at least you'll have enough medicine to last you. Number two, make sure you have enough Tylenol and ibuprofen pills. Okay, you can go to Walmart or to Costco and get the 2 or 3 bottle pack for $15 or something like that. It's really economic, and it is always good to have this. Not only that, go to the $1 or 99-cent stores, which they are not 99-cent stores anymore. Make sure you got enough bandages. Make sure you have band-aids from all type of size, um, antibiotics, creams, Vaseline, and alcohol pads, and that kind of stuff. Okay, make sure that you sort out all your medical supplies, and again, you don't have to spend a lot. Item three, get stipage pencils. These are great. They are just like um, glue, super glue for the skin. Okay, and they sometimes when you cut yourself and you clean the cut, when you use these pencils, they hurt a little bit, but then after that, it's gonna seal your cut, and it'll be okay. If it's too deep, you need pressure and bandages, and there's nothing you can, and stitches, of course. There's nothing you can get you out of this. So I'm talking about small cuts and stuff like that, uh, that you can do yourself. Very cheap in Amazon. Number four, make sure you maintain full your first aid kits, okay? And if you just have a basic kit, you can go to Amazon and look for EMT kits, okay? EMT bags come in full, and they run anywhere from $200 to $300. But when you receive them, they come in all packed in a bag, and you have everything you need for to take care of any small emergencies. Okay, they are a great asset. Number five, make sure you include tourniquets in your bags. You need to have tourniquets just in case you cut yourself on an artery or you get shot for whatever reason. Civil unrest can bring all kinds of bad people to your neighborhood. So make sure that you have sufficient tourniquets for you and your family. They are inexpensive, okay, and easy to carry in any bag. As a matter of fact, my kids have tourniquets in their bags. Some of my neighbors thought that I was a little bit over with that, but then they started doing the same. And now even got some neighbors that got backpacks with bulletproof armor plates in it to protect the kids. So trust me, situation have changed. Make sure that you can have some antibiotics, okay? And I know antibiotics, you require a prescription. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a controlled substance. But if you go to this website at the bottom on this slide, jasemedical.com, these people have made it available that they can sell you a bag of antibiotics for one person. The bag is around $253, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And when you talk to them, you got to create an account and you need to basically contact one of their doctors. And they'll write the prescription and sell you the bag. It's really great. One bag per family. The bag is designed for one person, but again, if one per family is something you didn't have before, okay? So just to show you, all right, here's a chart, price chart on the medications that the Jase case comes in with, okay? Just basic stuff. But at the same time, you'll see the columns, the price for each of the antibiotics for Walmart and the price for Walgreens. You see the total for Walmart, $628. And the ones in Walgreens is worse, it's $738. We middle class, few people can put this amount of money right away out. But look at this. The Jase case, $259.95 dollars 95 cents with shipping. I think that's included. So they are great if you can afford it. Understand the note at the bottom. They do not accept any type of health insurance, so this will be out of pocket from your savings or whatever, or your check. So but it's something great to have. In addition to this, I would recommend a medical publication or an ebook telling you when to use and for what antibiotics. All right. And of course, you can always talk to your local doctor, family doctor, about when to use these and so forth. Again, this is just a precaution in case anything happens. All right. If there's no pharmacy and you get caught, it will be a nice idea to have some antibiotics on hand in order to combat infections. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please post them at the bottom of the video. We definitely appreciate um, your viewing